Welcome back to Hobart-Detter Field on a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Hutchinson, Kansas. Game 2 of today's doubleheader coming at you in just a moment. Barton took game 1, 6-4, to cut the Hutch series lead to 2-1 after Hutch took 2 in Great Bend. We'll get you the lineups here as we get going. Leading off today, though, for the Cougars in game 2 will be Harrison Dink. Harrison wasn't in the lineup in game 1. He's a sophomore from Andale, just down K96. And he will face the big lefty, Matt Delcom, redshirt freshman from Lafayette, Louisiana. Dink quickly down in the count, 0-2. Called strike 1, fouled off strike 2. Delcom 1-0. This is his 7th appearance, his 3rd start, 5.40 ERA. Dink takes it down low for a ball. Harrison comes in batting .250. No home runs, 3 RBIs. Walked 7 times, struck out 5. Leading things off here for the Cougars. Takes that one upstairs, evens it up at 2-2. The way the first inning started in game 1, we thought it might be an offensive battle, with the Cougars putting up 2 and Hutchinson answering with 4 as the low pitch results in a full count now to Harrison Dink. But the offenses kind of took a nap until Barton put 4 more up in the 5th and ended up taking it 6-4, and Dink thought he had ball 4, but Ed Morris says strike 3. So Delcom retires Dink on a strikeout looking. That'll bring up Cougar center fielder Noah Geeky. First pitch swinging, lifts this one into shallow right. Sartori, the second baseman, back, squeezes it, and there are 2 away. Let's set the defense for you for Hutchinson. Outfield the same as game 1. Riley Metzger in left, Brian Skillman in center, Zion Bolin in right. Around the infield, Ryan Moritz back at 3rd. Dylan Nedved, who started on the mound in game 1, moves to short, his normal position. Logan Sartori, who played short in game 1, moves to 2nd. Zach Baxley back at 1st. Zane Schmidt behind the plate. He was the DH in game 1, and Matt Delcom on the mound. Nolan Riley takes a called strike. What little breeze there's been has calmed. The flag's not doing much at all right now. Absolutely gorgeous afternoon. This one in the dirt, kicks away from Schmidt. Evens the count at 1-1. Called strike 2 on Riley. Riley 1 for 3 in game 1, reached on an error, also walked, had a single. Fouls this one straight back to the press box. Count remains 1-2. Here's the 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2. Cougars looking to even this series up. Hutch took 2 from Barton at Great Bend, and Barton is looking to return the favor. Hutch trying to get game 2 and take the series 3 out of 4. That one inside, count goes full. So we've had a full count, a first pitch swinger, and another full count. These teams entered today's action behind Butler in the Jayhawk West. Here's the full count pitch. Here's a slow chopper hit to the third base side. Moritz barehands it, fires it across. Great play by Mo to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down by Delcom. Nothing for Barton in the top. Blue Dragons coming to bat. Let's hope the Blue Dragons can capitalize on that fine defensive play by Ryan Moritz to end the top of the first and get something started here in the bottom of the first. Brian Skillman to lead it off, the center fielder. 1 for 4 in game 1 today with the first inning single. Came around to score one of the 4 Blue Dragon runs. He'll face the lefty, Jacob Inns, Cougar sophomore from Wichita. Inns comes in with a 6.17 ERA, 0-1 record. His 4th appearance, 4th start. Counts even at 1-1. That one misses upstairs. 2-1 the count. Denny Steckline sitting in for Steve Carpenter on the play-by-play. Skillman fouls this one back, evens it up 2-2. Carp is in Lubbock, Texas with the Blue Dragon women's basketball team getting ready for the NJCAA National Tournament. Skillman rockets this one to short. Picked up by Stewart, kind of loses his balance, but throws it across to Riley. Nice play by the shortstop. So a 6-3 put out of Brian Skillman. Brings up the second baseman, Logan Sartori. Logan 1 for 4. Singled and scored in the first. Takes this one inside. Blue Dragon baseball scheduled to return to action Tuesday afternoon at 2 o'clock. As Sartori lines this one into right, but right at Bloomer for the out. 2 away. Baseball returns to action Tuesday at 2 o'clock against the Cali Tigers. Last I looked, Mother Nature was not providing a very welcoming forecast for that day. Good chance of rain. Catcher Zane Schmidt comes up, takes the ball. Dragons then travel to Dodge City on Thursday and host the Conquistadors next Saturday here at Hobart-Detter. Big swing and a miss by Schmidt. Evens the count at 1-1. Another cut, another miss. 1-2 now. Lefty-lefty matchup. Ends facing Schmidt. Just off the plate outside. Good 1-2 pitch. Tempt him a little bit with it. Schmidt did a good job of keeping the bat on his shoulder. And the 2-2. Foul tip. We'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. No score. Schmidt takes that one for a ball. Count is now full. Blue Dragon softball travels to Allen County Monday and Independence Tuesday. And a called third strike, and Zane Schmidt did not like it. He tossed his bat and was ready to head to first. So 3 up, 3 down on both halves of the first inning. We head to the second, scoreless. Top of the second inning, Hobart-Detter Field, 61 degrees. Matt Delcom on the mound for the Blue Dragons. Andrew Stewart to lead things off here in the top of the second for the Cougars. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Grounded sharply down the left field line. That's past Moritz. That's going to be at least a double. Metzger over, cuts it off, fires it in. Stewart's in, standing up with a leadoff double. Stewart was a key part of that top of the fifth in game one when the Cougars scored 4 on just 2 hits and 2 Blue Dragon errors. He laid down a sacrifice bunt that the Dragons threw down the right field line and allowed 2 runs to score, and he made it all the way to third, eventually scoring himself. Second baseman Brett Erickson at the plate. He squared the bunt. Delcom's pitch was outside, popped out of the glove of Schmidt, but Stewart did not chance advancing. So 1-0 the count. Now to Erickson. This one's low and away. Erickson was the leadoff hitter in game one. Went 2 for 4 with a pair of singles. Here's the 0-2. 2-0, excuse me, fouled back. 2-1 the count. The delivery from Delcom. Boy, he offered at it. Ed Mora did not call it a strike. They appealed. The field ump rightly says yes, that was a swing attempt. I think the fact that it popped out of Schmidt's glove might have distracted Ed enough that he lost his bearings there, but the count's now even at 2-2. Thank you. Called strike 3. So that appeal ended up being a big one. Second strikeout for Delcom, both looking. Brings up third baseman Tyler Bandera. Stewart at second. Now one down. Scoreless, top of the second. The delivery from Delcom. Down low. This one upstairs, now 2-0. Delcom's been struggling a little bit with his control. Other action in the Jayhawk Conference today, Colby's taking on Indian Hills in a non-conference matchup. 3-0 now the count. They're playing in Warrensburg, Missouri, Coffeyville in Neosho, Fort Scott at Allen, Johnson County in Labette. Seward's playing Cloud County and McPherson. KCK and Highland are playing at Benedictine, and Garden City's at Dodge. And a 4-pitch walk puts Bandera on. Stewart at second, Bandera now at first, one down. Brings up the right fielder Chandler Bloomer. Bloomer 0 for 3, couple flyouts and a strikeout. Big cut at the first one, fouls it back. Delcom ahead in the count, 0-1. Dragons playing him straight away in the outfield. This one's down low. Swing and a miss now, 1-2. Runners at first and second with one down here in the top of the second. Scoreless game. And the 1-2 fouled back by Bloomer. Delcom comes set. That one didn't miss by much. Home plate umpire Ed Moore getting some feedback from the Blue Dragon dugout on that one. Normally with Ed, you've got a lower strike zone and you get the low calls. We're a little bit off center here in the press box. I don't know if that was off the plate. But Delcom comes back. Gets the swing and a miss. Shows a little bit of emotion after that one too. He wanted that. I think he wanted the call before. Ferguson now coming to the plate. Left fielder Trent Ferguson. 0 for 2 in the first one. Hit by a pitch, struck out looking and grounded out. First pitch on the outside corner. Pitch down low. It's even 1-1. Ferguson, a sophomore from Ottawa, Kansas, awaits the 1-1 pitch. Outside corner, strike 2. Delcom with 18 strikeouts in 13 1/3 innings coming in. Just misses outside. That one's fired down to third, and they're going to catch Stewart trying to steal. The double steal was on. Zane Schmidt came up firing and guns out Stewart for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Cougars leave one stranded. And after 1.5, there's no score. Riley Metzger to lead things off in the bottom of the 2nd for the Blue Dragons. Takes the first pitch from left-hander Jacob Enns upstairs. Takes the second pitch right back up the middle. Sharp hit. Ground ball for a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 2nd. Little late coming back here after the first inning, or the break there. Lucas Kappenman was up here filling me in on all the girls in his life at kindergarten at Wiley Elementary. Brings up shortstop Dylan Nedved. Nedved squares, takes it low and away. Hits now even at 1 apiece. Early in this one, bottom of the 2nd. Metzger at first. Nedved at the plate. Lines this one into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Metzger on his horse, rounding second. He's on his way to 3rd. He'll make it standing up. So the Dragons trying to get something going here in the bottom of the 2nd. Back-to-back singles to start things off against Jacob Enns. Brings up designated hitter Chris Noble. Noble pinch hit in the bottom of the 7th of game 1 and lined a sharp single to right center. Comes up now from the right side of the plate against the lefty Enns. He grounds this one sharply into the hole behind short and 3rd, and it's through for a base hit. Metzger's home with the first run of the day. The run of this game for the Blue Dragons. Now runners at 1st and 2nd. Still nobody out. Dragons have started this inning off single to take a 1-0 lead. Brings up the first baseman, Zach Baxley. Question is, will Bax be trying to sacrifice him over? Bax hit a home run to center in the bottom of the 1st inning of game 1. Enns anticipating something, made a move towards 2nd. Bax squares to bunt, fouls it back. Enns was trying to see if Nedved would tip his hand at what he was thinking or what kind of a play the Blue Dragons might have had on. 0-1 to Baxley. Cougars thinking bunt. Riley's in at first. This one gets away. It's going to go back to the backstop. So it evens the count at 1-1, but then it puts the bat into Baxley's hands and takes the sacrifice out of the equation. So now runners at second and third with nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Baxley will be swinging away. Big cut. Foul tip at the plate now, 1-2. If they're going to give you 90 feet like that, you want to take advantage of it and not leave these guys stranded with nobody out. Right fielder Zion Bolin on deck. Here's the 1-2. Low and inside. Looked very, very similar to the pitch Zane Schmidt got rung up on in the first. Dugouts can live with the calls as long as they're consistent. Swing and a miss by Baxley. And I'm not saying that Eddie wasn't. So now one away. Brings up Zion Bolin, the sophomore from Lawrence. Zion 1 for 3 in game one with a first inning single. His single is the one that forced the Cougars starter in game one out of the game with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. The Dragons, in hindsight, wish that hadn't happened because Richter came in and went the final 6 1/3. Bolin lines this one back up the middle. It's a base hit. Nedved scores. The ball gets underneath the center fielder, Geeky. Bolin's around second. He's on his way to third. Noble scores. Bolin standing at third after the single and a 2-base error. So a big break for the Blue Dragons. Not only 2 runs, but Bolin now only 90 feet away from the 4th Blue Dragon run. A costly error. That one just scooted right underneath Geeky's glove. Ryan Moritz now, the 3rd baseman. Batting in the 9 hole for Hutch in this one. Not a good swing by Mo. Down in the count, 0-1. Ryan 2 for 3 in game one with a pair of singles. Takes this one inside. Reinheimer gave home plate umpire a little bit extra time to look at that one. Didn't change his mind. Counts even at 1-1, still just 1 away. 3 runs across for Hutch. Mo lines this one up the middle. That's a base hit. Here comes Bolin to score. And it's 4-0 Blue Dragons. That's going to get us back to the top of the order, and Brian Skillman, the center fielder. Grounded out to short to lead off the game for Hutch. It's going to prompt a visit to the mound by Cougar coach Brent Biggs. This inning feels very, very similar to the bottom of the first in game one, when Hutch scored 4 runs on 6 hits and hit the ball hard. The difference here is the error by the Cougar center fielder that really has changed the dynamic of the inning so far. The Blue Dragons have 4 runs on 5 hits, but that error allowed Bolin to take his single all the way to third. Umpire's making his way to the mound to break this one up. So players return to their positions. Skillman makes his way back to the batter's box. Moritz, short lead at first. This one hits Skillman. He was squaring to bunt. Took it in the right side. And that's going to move Moritz down to second. So that's the 30th time this season when a Blue Dragon has reached the Blue Dragon way, and that's going to be the end of the day for ends. Biggs trots out, makes the call to the pen. We'll take a break. Be back with you in a moment. With one away here in the bottom of the second inning. Dragons with 4 across on 5 hits so far. Cougars make a call to the bullpen. Coming in relief, left-hander Casey Wolfkuhl, sophomore from Topeka. He inherits runners at first and second. Logan Sartori at the plate. First pitch to Sartori is upstairs. Sartori lined out to right in the bottom of the first. Wolfkuhl making his second appearance, 2 2/3 coming in, giving up 3 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Here's the 1-0. Upstairs again, now 2-0. Ryan Moritz at second, Skillman at first. Moritz singled to drive home Bolin with the 4th run of the inning. Skillman squared to sacrifice and was hit by the pitch. Sartori fouls this one back. Counts now 2-1. Logan, the 8th Blue Dragon to come to the plate this inning. Here comes the 2-1. Fisted. Bandera snags it at third. Then the throw gets away and into right field, and that's going to allow Moritz to move up 90 feet on the air. So Bandera, it was a soft liner off the handle of the bat of Sartori. Moritz started to break, was able to get back in time, and the throw got away into shallow right field. So Moritz, alert, smart base running, makes his way to third. So now runners at the corners, 2 away for Zane Schmidt, batter number 9 here in the bottom of the second. This pitch low and inside. 1-0 the count. Skillman at first, Moritz at third. Skillman 1 for 2 on the year, stolen bases. This one's lifted high in the air to left. Ferguson underneath it and makes the catch. So the Blue Dragons put up 4 here in the bottom of the second on 5 hits. Take advantage of an error. 1 of 2 by the Cougars this inning. And after 2, Hutchinson leads it 4-0. Trenton Ferguson to lead things off. Top of the third inning for Barton. Hutchinson leading it 4-0. Matt Delcom back on the mound for Hutch. Starts Ferguson off with a called strike. Ferguson was at the plate in the top of the second as he takes ball 2. He was at the plate in the top of the second when Stewart was thrown out trying to steal third to end the inning. One and one. Pitch from Delcom's upstairs. 2-1 the count. Pitch in the dirt, 3-1. You know, there may not be a more superstitious game than baseball. Between games, we go down to get the lineups from the coaches. First game, the lineup Coach Schmidt sent up to the press box. Here's the 3-1. Gets away from Schmidt, goes to the backstop. He chases it down to keep Ferguson at first with a leadoff walk. First game, Blue Dragon coach Ryan Schmidt sent the lineup up here on a green card. And so he always asks, win or lose, what color did I send you? And we told him green. He goes, okay, you're giving, and then he gave us pink. So he's got to change it up. And went over to get the lineup from Barton coach Brent Biggs. Offered to take one back over to the Blue Dragon dugout for him. And he said, no, I'll have one of my guys do it. That's how we did it in the first game. So he didn't want to change the mojo. Reinheimer at the plate, takes that pitch outside. Ferguson at first. Swing and a miss. Evens it up at 1-1. Ferguson with one stolen base on the season. Counts even at 1-1, nobody down. Top of the third. 1-2 now the count after the swing and the miss. This one's going to go 9, at least. First game ended in 7. Ryan Summers up, getting loose in the Blue Dragon bullpen. He was up a little bit in game 1. This is lined into center by Reinheimer. Skillman squeezes it for the first out of the inning. Back to the top of the order for the Cougars. Designated hitter Harrison Dink struck out looking, leading off the game. Ferguson remains at first. This one's in the dirt. Here's the 1-0 from Delcom to Dank. Fouled out of play. 1-1. I know I've mentioned it several times, but it bears repeating what an absolutely gorgeous afternoon it is. When it's been as cold and wet and dreary as it's been this winter, to have 2 days in a row where it's 50 plus, maybe 60 plus, sunshine, not much wind. Here's the 1-1 upstairs, 2-1. That was with Ferguson off on the play, Dink swung. It probably didn't roll 20 feet, but it hugged the chalk the entire way. And alertly, Zane Schmidt jumped on it, grabbed it while it was on the chalk because it wasn't showing any indication it was going to go foul. Threw Dank out. So 2-3 on the putout. Ferguson moves up on the play to second, but now 2 away. Center fielder Noah Geekie to the plate. Geekie popped out to second in the first. Takes the first pitch downstairs for a ball. Grounds this one to Sartori at second. Across to Baxley to end the inning. So the Cougars leave one stranded after 2.5. Hutchinson 4, Barton 0. Back at Hobart-Detter Field, left fielder Riley Metzger leads off the bottom of the third inning for the Blue Dragons. Facing lefty Casey Wolfkuhl for the Cougars. First pitch misses for a ball. 1-0 the count. Upstairs now 2-0. Called strike. 2-1 now the count. Metzger singled and scored in the second. Lifts this one foul and out of play behind the third base dugout. Just over the fence, lands on the dike by the Arkansas River. 2-2 the count. That one hits Metzger. Just catches him on the arm. So lead off. Second Blue Dragon to reach the Blue Dragon way in this game. 31 now on the season. Brings up Dylan Nedved, the shortstop. Nedved singled and scored in the second. The second of the Blue Dragons' 4 runs. Metzger with a safe lead. Nedved lifts this one down the right field line. It's a long run for the right fielder. It's going to fall. Metzger makes it to second. So Nedved now 2 for 2. And for the second inning in a row, Blue Dragons have the first 2 reach. Last inning they went single, single, single with Metzger, Nedved, Noble. Metzger this inning reaches on a hit by pitch. Nedved single. Let's see if Noble can keep the pattern going. Nobody out. First and second. Wolfkuhl comes set. Peeks at second. Delivers upstairs. 1-0. Noble was not showing any indication that he was going to bunt. We'll see if that's still the case. No sacrifices yet on the season for him. Here's the 1-0. He's swinging away, lines this one to left, and it's past to diving Ferguson. Here comes Metzger, he'll score. Nedved to third, they're gonna send him. Here comes the throw to the plate. He is called out at the plate. Nice job by Barton on the relay. It sure looked like Nedved might have gotten that foot in, but that's not the call that's made. And no discussion from the Blue Dragon dugout. So we'll assume they agree. A couple of boo birds out here in the stands. But Metzger comes home to make it 5-0. 1 run here so far in the bottom of the third. Noble on second with the double. $7-4-2 on the putout at the plate of Nedved. That's one of those plays where if you're third base coach Jamel Cervantes, there's no harm in sending him. Nedved's got good speed. Barton's got to make 2 perfect throws to get him, and credit to them, they did. 5-0 now, Blue Dragons. Baxley fouls that one back over the press box. 1-1 the count. Zach struck out swinging in the second. Got Noble sitting on second. Bax with his first home run of the season in the first game. Takes this one outside. Two and one now the count. Low and inside, now 3-1. Three-one pitch fouled back by Baxley. The count's now full. Runner at second, one away. One man in so far here in the bottom of the third for Hutch. 5-0 lead. Cougars took game one 6-4. Dragons lead this series 2-1 after taking a pair at Great Bend on Friday. Line back at the press box. We'll reset here with the full count. Wolfkuhl looks in at Reinheimer for the call. Takes a peek. Back at the runner. Swing and a miss. So for the second time in this game, Baxley goes down swinging. Now 2 away. Noble remains at second. Zion Bolin, who singled in the second. The ball got under the center fielder Geeky's glove. Bolin made it all the way to third, eventually scored. Be a nice time for another of the same. Here's the pitch. Lined into center. Ask and you shall receive from Zion. Noble comes across to score the Dragons' 6th run of the game. Bolin's now 2 for 2. That'll bring up third baseman Ryan Moritz, who also singled last inning. But before we see Ryan, we'll see a visit to the mound from Cougar coach Brent Biggs. And he's going to take the ball from Wolfkuhl and make a call to the bullpen. We'll take a break and be back with you in just a moment. Ryan Moritz digs in and greets the new pitcher with a liner down the left field line, foul by about a foot. Coming in from the bullpen is Cade Peters, a sophomore from Salina, the third Cougar pitcher of the day for game 2. 2 away, bottom of the third. He inherits Zion Bolin at first. Ryan Moritz at the plate. Moritz didn't miss extra bases by much there. Singled in the second. Pitch outside, 1-1. Bolin 2 for 2 stolen base attempts on the season. First two pitchers for the Cougars this game were lefties, which kind of shortens the lead a little bit. Peters, a righty, going to give Bolin a little bit more room to get off the bag there. Another foul ball makes it 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Just off the outside corner, evens it up. 2-2. Bolin, good lead off first. Peters delivers. Misses outside, and the count is full. So with a full count, 2 outs, Bolin at first. He'll be off on the pitch. He's just got to be careful not to leave too early. Make sure Peters goes home. And he's off. Swing and a miss by Moritz. That'll end the inning, but the Dragons add a pair. And after 3, they lead it 6-0. Matt Delcom back out for the top of the 4th. Toes the rubber for the Blue Dragons. Facing Nolan Riley. Cougar first baseman. 1-0 the count. Riley grounded out to third in the first inning. Fastball for a strike, evens it up at 1-1. Just off the plate, 2-1. Dragons with 6 runs on 8 hits through 3. Cougars, no runs, 1 hit. Have committed 2 errors. Three and 1 the count. Here's the 3-1. Strike two on the outside corner. It's about the third time today we've seen batters thinking they've got ball four, drop the bat and take off, and a strike gets called. Full count now to Riley. Lifts this one in the air down the right field line. Sartori does a nice job. Makes the catch about 2 feet into fair territory, running away from home. He got a better jump on him than what Bolin did out of right. And a nice catch by Sartori in right field. Brings up shortstop Andrew Stewart. Stewart doubled in the second. Was cut down trying to steal third. He fouls one in a very similar place down the right field line, a little bit more foul, and just drops into the Barton bullpen. So it's 0-1 the count. No runs on one hit for the Cougars so far. Nice job by Matt Delcom. Bounces this one up there. Counts now 1-1. Some beautiful new signs on the scoreboard here. Home of the Blue Dragons, home of the Salthawks. New screen on the fence. Misses outside, 2-1. One of the finest, if not the finest, ballparks in the state of Kansas. As Stewart lines this one up the middle, he's 2 for 2. It's always fun to talk about Hobart-Detter Field with folks that aren't familiar with it or haven't been here. And you point out there and tell them some of the names that have played on this field. Roger Clemens, Rafael Palmero, Barry Bonds. Some guy named Mickey Mantle. All played at one time or another on this field. Nice job of hitting by Brett Erickson. With Stewart leading off first, he took one to the right side, right through the hole for a single. And now the Cougars have runners at first and third with one away here in the top of the fourth. Ryan Summers continues to throw in the Blue Dragon bullpen. That'll bring up third baseman Tyler Bandera. Bandera walked in the second. But before we see Bandera, Blue Dragon coach Ryan Schmidt's going to take a walk and have a chat with Matt Delcom. We'll take a break and be right back with you. So Blue Dragon head coach Ryan Schmidt makes a call to the bullpen for Ryan Summers. 6'5" sophomore. Delcom leaves, having surrendered no runs on 3 hits. The 2 guys on base are his. Summers greets Bandera with an off-speed strike to get ahead 0-1. 0-1 pitch, fastball, catches the outside corner. If you're in or around Hutchinson this week, especially with the national tournament going on, stop by the Blue Dragon campus bookstore. Big sale on hats, gloves, scarves, hoodies, jackets, Monday through Friday. Check out the bargains. Here's the 0-2, grounded up the middle. They're going to get a force at second. Summers tried to olay it and snag it. Sartori had a little bit of a hard time handling it, but was able to get it to Nedved for the force, but that's going to allow Stewart to score the first Cougar run of the game. Best situation would have been a double play for Hutch, and I think that's what Sartori had in mind, but couldn't get a handle on it quickly enough to turn 2. So Erickson is erased. 4-6. Stewart scores. Bandera at first on the fielder's choice. Chandler Bloomer fouls the first one back. Oh, 0-1 the count now with 2 away. Pitch outside. Bandera takes off and steals second. That whole play seemed to happen in slow motion. Not sure Schmidt got rid of that as quickly as he normally would have. He had to go outside to get it. Made a great throw. Close play, but Bandera just beat it. 1-1 now the count. Outside, 2-1. Six to 1 Blue Dragons, top of the 4th. Called strike 2. Evens the count at 2-2. Bloomer struck out. Swinging in the second. Bandera in scoring position for him at second. 2 away. Did not miss by much, just inside. The count is now full. Summers comes set. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. That'll end the inning. The Cougars push one across after 3.5. 6-1 Blue Dragons. Center fielder Brian Skillman to lead it off for Hutch in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch swinging, grounds one to first. Riley scoops it up, beats Skillman to the bag. So quickly, one away, 3 unassisted. That'll bring up second baseman Logan Sartori. Sartori 0 for 2, lined out to right, lined out to third. Bottom of the fourth, 6-1 Blue Dragons. First pitch swinging. Sartori fouls this one back onto the roof above the seating. Oh and 1 the count. Fouls this one towards the Blue Dragon dugout. 0 and 2 now. Reserve outfielder Connor Craig scampered away from that one. Must have learned that from Jamel Cervantes. And called strike 3 on the outside corner. So quickly, 2 away here in the bottom of the fourth. Brings up the catcher, Zane Schmidt. Called strike 1. So Peters thrown nothing but 5 strikes so far here in the bottom of the fourth. Inside for a ball. I think Blue Dragon coach Ryan Schmidt would like to see his guys work it a little bit harder at the plate. Here's the 1-1. Lifted high in the air to right. Right fielder can't see it. He can't see it. And it doesn't matter because it's gone. The minute that came off the bat, the right fielder put his arms up, couldn't find it. But it didn't matter as Schmidt circles the bases. His team leading 7th home run of the season and gets the run back that the Cougars scored in the top half of this inning. It's now 7-1 Blue Dragons. Brings up Riley Metzger. Riley singled, hit by a pitch, has scored a pair. Big cut. Down in the count 0-1. And gets hit again. So the third time this game that a Blue Dragon has reached being hit. So Peters needed 4 pitches to get the first 2 outs, and then Zane Schmidt launched a blast to right. And then Metzger gets hit. That brings up Dylan Nedved. And Nedved lines it right back at Peters. Luckily, he got his glove up to protect himself, picks it up, gets it over to Riley. Probably the hardest hit ball of the inning. But he gets the 3rd out. Dragons get 1 on the Schmidt home run after 4. 7-1 Hutchinson. Left fielder Trent Ferguson to lead things off here in the top of the 5th inning for the Cougars. Hutchinson leading it 7-1. Ferguson fouls off the first pitch. He walked in the 3rd, left stranded at 2nd. Oh, 0-1 the count. Ryan Summers misses with that one. Came on in relief in the 4th. One and 1 count. Fouled straight back at us. 1-2 now the count. One run on 3 hits for the Cougars. Ferguson lifts this one high in the air to left. Metzger settles under it. Makes the catch for the first out of the inning. 1 run, 3 hits for the Cougars, 7 runs on 9 hits for the Blue Dragons. Cougars have committed a couple of errors. Catcher Noah Reinheimer, 9-hole hitter for the Cougars. Swing and a miss at the first pitch. He flew out to center field in the 3rd. Summers working quickly. Swing and a miss again. 0-2 the count. And the 0-2. Same result as the first 2. Swing and a miss. Reinheimer goes down swinging. Gets us back to the top of the order. And we're going to have a pinch hitter. Carson Zinger. At the plate for the Cougars. In place of Harrison Dink. One and 2 the count now. Everybody in white wanted that one. It's even up now at 2-2, just off the outside corner. This one's grounded back up the middle. Nedved behind second. Throws it across to Baxley, pulls him off the bag. Zinger's going to reach on the throwing air. So with 2 away, Cougars get a base runner. Brings up center fielder Noah Geekie. Geekie popped out to second, grounded out to second, 0 for 2. Runner at first. Summers takes a peek, fires a strike on the outside corner. Zinger's not attempted a stolen base yet this year. That one's in the dirt. Counts even at 1-1. 2 down, top of the 5th inning. This one's scheduled for 9. Summers peeks at Zinger. Strike on the outside corner. Ryan's been all around the plate. Counts now 1-2. Misses upstairs, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. This one's lifted in the air to shallow center. Sartori goes back. He squeezes it for the 3rd out. So a nice job by Summers. So we're halfway home. Hutchinson leads it 7-1. New pitcher on the mound for the Cougars as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Right-hander Tanner Howe. Howe making his 10th appearance, all in relief. 1-1 record, 2.31 ERA. Shown great control, 11 strikeouts, just 1 walk in 11 2/3. Giving up 9 hits and 3 runs. Chris Noble fouls it back, leading off bottom 5. Noble's reached twice, scored twice. 1-1 the count. Two and 1 now the count. In the dirt now, 3-1. Howe in danger of walking just his second batter of the season. Comes set and the delivery. Bounces it up there, so Noble walks to lead off the Blue Dragon 5th. We're going to have a pinch hitter coming up for the Blue Dragons. Connor Craig. Pinch hitting for Zach Baxley. We'll see what the Blue Dragons do defensively. Connor, redshirt freshman from right here in Hutchinson. 286 on the season. 1 homer, 4 RBIs. Howe whips one over to first. Noble back. Noble yet to attempt to steal. See if Connor squares. He does not. Takes a called strike on the outside corner. Zion Bolin on deck. Swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch. Now 0-2 to Craig. Seven to 1 Blue Dragons. Bottom of the 5th. Cougars took game 1 6-4. And the 0-2 off outside. Blue Dragons led 4-2 in game 1 after 1 inning. Cougars got 4 in the top of the 5th on 2 hits and 2 errors. Line foul down by the Cougar dugout. Count remains 1-2. Outside of that first inning in game 1, as Craig fouls another one back, Hutch had a hard time getting the bats going. Noble gets a lead off first. Here comes the delivery. Another one fouled back. Good at bat by Connor. Fell behind 0-2, was fooled quickly on the first 2 pitches, but has battled since. Defense playing him straight up. Lines this one back over the press box. Going through some baseballs, bringing more out to home plate umpire Ed Mora. And the 1-2 off-speed pitch gets him swinging. So 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th. Bring up right fielder Zion Bolin. Zion 2 for 2 in the game. Pair of singles, scored a run. Chris Noble at first. Dragons leading at 7-1. Light breeze. Zion check swing, and That was just an unlucky play. Check swing, line drive, foul that Riley snagged at first. Noble was off on contact, and he got doubled off. So just like that, 3 up, 3 down in a very unconventional manner. Dragons lead at 7-1 as we head to the 6th. First baseman Nolan Riley to lead off top 6 for the Barton Cougars. Riley turned an unassisted double play to end bottom of the 5th. Zion Bolin with a check swing, line drive foul. Called strike from Summers. That Riley snagged just in foul territory and doubled up Chris Noble. Here's the 0-1, high and inside. 1-1 the count. Fouled back and out of play, 1-2. 7-1 Blue Dragons, top of the 6th inning. This one's scheduled for 9. Cougars took game 1, 6-4 in 7. And the 1-2. High and inside, 2-2. Looked like a breaking ball that didn't break. Riley turns on this one and drives it deep to left, just over the head of Metzger. It's up against the fence. Metzger gets it back in, and that's going to be a leadoff double for Nolan Riley here in the top of the 6th. Hard hit ball by the sophomore from Augusta. That'll bring up the shortstop, Andrew Stewart. Stewart with a double and a single. Pitch outside, ball 1. Stewart doubled in the 2nd. Was cut down trying to steal 3rd to end the inning. Singled and scored in the 4th. Here's the 0-1. Excuse me, the 1-0 outside, 2-0. Summers steps off. 2-0 the count to Stewart. This one's lifted in the air. Wide of first. Falls out of play for a strike. Connor Craig pinch hit for Zach Baxley in the last inning. So we'll get the defensive adjustments for you here. This one's fisted, but into shallow right. Here comes Bolin. He's not going to get there. It's going to fall. So now runners at the corners. Riley had to hold up and see if that was going to get caught. So he makes it to third. So runners now at first and third with nobody out. McGuire is now in at first. So I think that's the only defensive adjustment. We had Craig on the pinch hit, and then McGuire goes in defensively for the Blue Dragons. Brett Erickson now at the plate, takes a called strike. Cougar second baseman struck out looking. Singled in the fourth. 1 for 2 in the game. This one's off the end of the bat in foul territory. Ryan Moritz with a beat on it and a big out for Hutchinson. So from first and third and nobody out to first and third with 1 out. Brings the double play into play. Cougar third baseman Tyler Bandera walked and reached on a fielder's choice. Comes up now to face Summers. Breaking ball for a strike. Cougars now with 5 hits in the game. Off-speed pitch, fouled right back over the top of us. Summers ahead in the count, 0-2. 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Cougars. 7 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Blue Dragons. And the 0-2 from Summers. Fouled back. We'll do it again. Ed Mora calling for more baseballs. Gets personalized delivery from Blue Dragon head coach Ryan Schmidt. Got to tell you, Schmidt's not in the best mood today. I went down before game to get the lineup and took him some chocolate chip cookies, and he looked at me and said, "I gave up everything that tastes good for Lent." Pitch misses upstairs, 1-2. So a group of us proceeded to eat him right in front of him. Runners at the corners, 1 away. Top of the 6th. Tyler Bandera at the plate. He lifts this one. Again, weakly hit down the right field line, but it's going to fall. Fair territory. But he's going to get gunned out trying to stretch it into a double. Cougar coach Brent Biggs takes his hat off, just rubs his head. Frustrating play for a coach. That one just landed inches fair. So it scored Riley. Stewart was on his horse to third. Bandera looked to hesitate a little bit. And Bolin did the same on the throw and finally cut it loose and threw him out at second. So he gets credit for a single and then retired 9-6 for the second out. Looks like a pinch hitter for Bloomer. Unless he was an earlier defensive replacement, Adam Schrog, freshman from Buhler. At the plate. Ahead in the count, 2-1. Now even 2-2. Schrog, a former teammate of Blue Dragon Ethan White, as a Buhler Crusader. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss at the off-speed pitch. So it ends the inning. But the Cougars push one more across, cut into the Dragon lead. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 7-2 Blue Dragons. Welcome back to Hobart-Detter Field, bottom of the 6th inning. Blue Dragon third baseman Ryan Moritz leading things off. Swing and a miss at the first pitch from Cougar pitcher Tanner Howe. Second one catches the outside corner. Moritz down on the count, 0-2. And then lifts one lazy down the left field line. That's going to fall. Fair ball. Rounds first, doesn't hesitate. On his way to second. Here comes the throw. Head first slide. He's safe. So a leadoff double on an 0-2 pitch. Barton had a couple of those in the last inning that were not the most hard hit balls, but they just fell in the right place down the right field line. And Moritz returns the favor here to lead off the bottom of the 6th. So the 10th hit of the day for the Blue Dragons. And that'll get us to the top of the order. Center fielder Brian Skillman. Skilly 0 for 2. Reached on a hit by pitch in the second. Just about wore that one. If we got any former Blue Dragon players listening, you need to coach him up on that one. Anything that far inside, you got to find a way to wear it. 1-0 the count. Check swing, called strike. Evens it up at 1-1. Moritz at second. Nobody out. Bottom of the 6th. Skillman grounds this one to second. He's retired 4-3, but he gets the job done by moving Moritz up to third, so 90 feet away now with one out. Brings up the second baseman, Logan Sartori. Logan's due to square one up. 0 for 3. Line out to right, line out to third. Takes called strike. And struck out looking in the 4th. Fouls this one back. Counts now 0-2. Moritz at third, led off with a double. Moved to third on the ground out by Skillman to the right side. Howe comes set, and the delivery. Way outside. Nice job by Reinheimer to snag it and keep Moritz at third. Counts now 1-2. Line foul down the right field line. Sartori digs back in. And the delivery. Upstairs. Counts even now at 2-2. Catcher Zane Schmidt on deck. He destroyed a baseball in his last at bat. This one's outside. Counts now full. Good job by Logan to work this one full after being behind in the count 0-2. Ryan Moritz at third. Getting instruction from third base coach Jamel Cervantes. And that's grounded fair down the left field line. It's going to make it to the corner. Sartori around first. Standing up into second. Scores Moritz. I'm glad Logan listened when I said he was due to hit one hard. RBI double. And the Dragons answer the Cougars. Cougars scored one in the top of the 4th. Dragons answered. Cougars get one in the top of the 6th. Dragons answered. They keep that 6-run lead. And the Cougars aren't even going to mess with Zane Schmidt. They issue the intentional walk. And the baseball purist in me hates this rule where you could just tell them to send them there. Make them throw the pitches. We've all seen wild pitches. We've seen base hits that come when they're trying to do an intentional walk. And Metzger wears it. Third time today. The second time in a row it's been on the first pitch. So Sartori moves to third, Schmidt up to second, Metzger at first. And Brent Biggs out of the dugout. I've not seen a signal yet. But Biggs is going to have a visit with this pitcher here. Kind of came unhinged in a hurry there. The intentional walk, and then the next pitch hits Metzger. So the Dragons now have the bases loaded with one away here in the bottom of the sixth, and Dylan Nedved coming to the plate. Nedved with a chance to break this one open. Biggs is going to stick with Howe. First pitch strike. Nice off-speed pitch there. Wasn't what Nedved was looking for. Eight to 2 Hutchinson, bottom of the sixth. And Nedved just reaches out and kind of serves that to second. They're going to get one, but it's going to get a run home, and Nedved beats it out. So Metzger recorded on the 4-6. Force out. Nedved reaches on the fielder's choice. Sartori scores. Zane Schmidt moves up to third. So now 9 to 2 Hutchinson. Here in the bottom of the sixth. Brings up designated hitter Chris Noble. Noble's been on base all 3 times today. Walked in his last appearance. Called strike. Now 2 away. Runners at the corners. Nedved takes off. Swing and a miss by Noble. They're not even going to throw it. Oh and 2 now to Noble. They didn't want to risk something on a double steal or possibly throwing the ball away and allowing Schmidt to score. So Reinheimer ate it. Counts now 0 and 2. Inside to Noble. Pitch outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. You know, Sports Information Director Steve Carpenter might be in Lubbock, but that doesn't mean he isn't working on baseball stuff. Swing and a miss by Noble. I'll fill you in on what I mean when we come back after the break. We're through 6 complete here at Hobart-Detter. Blue Dragons lead it 9 to 2. Well, I teased you a little bit in the bottom half of the sixth about Steve Carpenter still doing work as the SID while he's in Lubbock getting ready for the women's basketball national tournament. Riley Metzger has reached base 3 times this game via the hit by pitch, which ties a Blue Dragon record set in 2005 by Noah Kroll, reaching base 3 times being hit in a single game. So to the top of the 7th. Trent Ferguson to lead it off for the Cougars. Quickly behind in the count, 0-2 to Ryan Summers. Here's the 0-2 from Summers, up and away. The 1-2 called, strike 3 on the outside corner. Sets Ferguson down and brings up Reinheimer, the catcher. Reinheimer with a fly-out strikeout, 0 for 2 on the game. Nine to 2 Hutchinson. Top of the 7th. Breeze has picked up a little bit blowing across the field from right to left. Upstairs, 1-1 the count. This one's lifted in the air to left. Metzger a few steps in. Makes the catch, and there's 2 away. Gets us to the top of the order for another pinch hitter. Micah Grover, 6 foot, 200-pound freshman from Cheney. Steps up to the plate. Two and 0 the count to Grover. Lifts this one into foul territory. McGuire giving it a look, just runs out of space. Count goes 2-1. Grover just 4 at-bats on the year, still looking for his first hit. Swings, grounds this one to third. Moritz double clutches, fires it across to McGuire. 3 up, 3 down for Summers. Dragons leading at 9-2. It's time to stretch. Bottom of the 7th. Blue Dragon first baseman Max McGuire facing a new pitcher, Alex Mandarino, 6'4", 200-pound freshman out of Topeka. Starts McGuire off with a couple of quick strikes. Mandarino making just his second appearance of the year. That one's upstairs for a ball. The third of an inning on the year for Mandarino, as McGuire cue balls that one into foul territory. One walk, one run allowed. The 1-2 to McGuire, swing and a miss. So one away in the bottom of the 7th for Hutchinson. Brings up the right fielder, Zion Bolin. Zion 2 for 3, a pair of singles and a line out. Big swing. Down on the count, 0-1. The 0-1 from Mandarino upstairs. 9-2 Blue Dragons here in the bottom of the 7th. Another big cut by Bolin. Another swing and a miss. Zion takes a little walk, gets set. Here's the 1-2. Fouled straight back. One and two the count. One away, bottom of the 7th. Mandarino misses outside. Counts now even at 2-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. So 2 away. Now here in the bottom of the 7th. Brings up third baseman Ryan Moritz. Moritz with a single and a double, 2 for 3. Fouls the first pitch away. Ryan led off the last inning with a flare down the left field line. Leadoff double, came around to score. Fouls this one back. So down on the count, 0-2. Hutchinson trying to take 3 out of 4 in this series from the Cougars. And a swing and a miss. Mandarino comes in, strikes out the side in the bottom of the 7th. On our way to the 8th, 9-2 Hutchinson. Top of the 8th inning. Hobart-Detter Field here in Hutchinson. Center fielder Noah Geeky to lead things off for the Cougars, facing Ryan Summers, who starts him off with a fastball for a strike. Breaking ball misses inside, evens it up at 1-1. 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for Barton. 9 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for Hutch. This is upstairs, 2-1 the count. Geeky 0 for 3. Sends one right back at us. Evens it up 2-2. Popped out to second, grounded out to second, popped out to second. So he and Logan Sartori have got something going on today. This one's in the dirt. Full count. Bounced up, caught a piece of Zane Schmidt. Takes a little extra time to get that one back to Summers. Full count now. This one's hit hard, high and deep to center. Looks like Jeremiah Caesar is in the game defensively. Can't get this one, it's off the wall. Caesar has a hard time picking it up. Geeky never put on the brakes. Leads him off with a triple. So defensively, Caesar now in center. Scanning the field, that appears to be the only change. That'll bring up the first baseman, Nolan Riley. Called strike. Riley doubled in his last at bat, 1 for 3 on the game. Outside. Summers working quickly. Now this one's lined into the gap in right center. But that's enough to get the run home. Hope Geeky's okay. That was a bit of an awkward slide. Looks like Skillman has moved to right. That was Skillman who snagged that one. So Skillman's moved to right, Caesar in center. So I'm guessing Boland's day is probably done. So we'll put Caesar in Boland's spot in the lineup. One and oh, now 1-1 the count to Stewart. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So 2 down now in the top of the 8th. Brings up second baseman Brett Erickson. Erickson 1 for 3, 4th inning single. Summers has already towed the rubber and ready to go. Waiting for Erickson to step in. Just misses upstairs. Off the plate, 2-0. 9-3 Blue Dragons. Top of the 8th. Catches the outside corner with that one. 2-1 the count. Swing and a miss. Big cut by Erickson. Counts now even at 2-2. Here's the 2-2. A little bit low. Count's now full. Three balls, two strikes, two away. Line shot right at Nedved for the third out of the inning. So Erickson hit it about as hard as you can, but right at Dylan Nedved. We head to the bottom of the eighth. Hutchinson 9, Barton 3. Top of the order, Brian Skillman, now playing right field for the Blue Dragons. Leads things off here in the bottom of the eighth. First pitch swinging. Grounds this one over to second. Erickson to Riley for the out. So for the second time in a row, 4-3 to erase Skillman. Brings up Logan Sartori. Sartori doubled in his last at bat, driving home Ryan Moritz. Later came around to score himself. One away here in the bottom of the eighth. Lifts this one high down the right side. Second baseman out. Erickson calls off the right fielder and records the out. 2 pitches, 2 outs. I hope Zane Schmidt knows what that means. That if he swings at this pitch, he's probably going to have to walk home. You never want to give a pitcher a chance to tie a world record of only throwing 3 pitches in an inning. No need to worry. Low and inside. Swing away, Zane. Turns on this one. Hits it high, hits it far, hits it foul. Evens it up at 1-1. Don't forget this week, one of the biggest weeks of the year from an athletic standpoint in Hutchinson. Inside, 2-1. The men's NJCAA National Tournament tips off tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. at the Hutchinson Sports Arena. Runs through Saturday. The 2-1 pitch. Grounded sharply to the right side. Nice job by Riley. Tosses it over to Mandarino for the out. So 3-1 in the book. 3 up, 3 down for Hutch here in the bottom of the eighth. We go to the ninth. 9-3 Blue Dragons. Top of the ninth, Hobart-Detter Field. Cougars need at least 6 to keep this one going. Hutchinson leading it 9-3. Ryan Summers back on the mound to try to close this one out. Tyler Bandera, Cougar third baseman, to lead things off. Check swing, called strike. Counts even 1-1. At the start of the day, the Butler Grizzlies had a 6-2 record leading the Jayhawk West. Barton and Hutch were both tied behind them at 4-2 as Bandera fouls this one back. Cougars took game 1 today to go to 5-2. Hutch fell to 4-3. Hutch trying to even it up at 5-3 each and take 3 out of 4 in this series. The 1-2 from Summers, low and away. Has just been a beautiful afternoon here at the ballpark. This one comes straight back. Not sure with these headset on, but I think Candy Gooch screamed on that one. Didn't just flinch. Carp, you should have been here. It was epic. The 2-2 tries to check his swing, can't do it. Zane picks it out of the dirt, tags him out. So 1 down, 2 to go. Here in the ninth. Pinch hitter coming up for Schrog, who pinch hit last inning. Number 31 for the Cougars. Get to the right side here. Jeb Sauer, a freshman out of Little River, Kansas. Takes a ball, evens the count, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 from Summers upstairs, 2-1. Just off the plate. I've got 3-1. The board's got 2-1. Home plate umpire just put it up, but he put it in front of him so the pitcher could see it. Called strike 2. Sauer grounds this one up the middle for a base hit on the full count delivery. And another pinch hitter now. Pinch hitting for Ferguson, number 12, Chandler Kelly. Kelly, a sophomore from Mays. That base hit by Sauer was his first hit of the season. Kelly looking for his second hit. Down in the count, 0-2. Upstairs. Swing and a miss. Kelly goes down on strikes. 2 away now here in the top of the ninth. Blue Dragons 1 out away. Brings up Reinheimer. Reinheimer 0 for 4. Called strike on the inside corner. Summers trying to close this one out. stairs. 1-1. Sauer at first. Summers not overly concerned with the runner. As Reinheimer lines this one into right center. So Sauer's going to make his way to third. Cougars still have some fight in them. First and third now with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Dragons leading at 9-3. Bring up the designated hitter, Micah Grover. His second at bat, grounded out to third in the 7th. Outside corner for a strike. Lifts this one foul and out of play to the right side. So the Cougars are down to their last strike. Oh and 2, runners at the corners. Here comes Summers. Called strike 3. Strikes out the side. So the Blue Dragons take game 2 today by a final score of 9-3. They split the doubleheader today after the Cougars take game 1 6-4. Hutchinson takes the series 3 out of 4 after sweeping it Friday at Great Bend. Blue Dragons are scheduled to return to action Tuesday afternoon at 2 o'clock versus Cowley, Thursday at Dodge City, and back home here at Hobart-Detter Field next Saturday hosting the Conquistadors. Don't forget, tomorrow night on the Blue Dragon Sports Network, 6 o'clock, the women basketball team tips off in the women's national tournament in Lubbock, Texas, taking on Western Nebraska. Steve Carpenter will be on the call with that one. This is Denny Steckline. Thanks for tuning in today. Appreciate your support of Blue Dragon Athletics. Enjoy what's left of your weekend. Till next time, we'll see you Tuesday on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.